All right, so I don't go live often, but if I do, trust me, it's because something was on my mind I have to share. It's a principle I believe that is essential for the intensified life. We are in the last quarter of the year. I know you already preparing for the new year in some ways. Those of you who are forward thinkers, you are probably assessing a lot of what has already happened this year and making some adjustments and then strategizing for the new year. I want you to think about how you can be intentional about intensifying your relationships, making them healthier, making them stronger. And I'm going to give you three B's, three essential B's. And I want you to keep this in mind because for you to be healthier and to make sure you take care of yourself, your mental, spiritual, emotional, even your physical health, these are going to help you. Now, you've probably heard about the book called Boundaries, and I would encourage you to get it. I know that it's a all-time bestseller. It's so common. Lots of people have referred to it. You could probably find an audiobook on it here on YouTube, okay? But check it out. And I want you to add to that whole concept of boundaries, these three words. Remember, I'm telling you what I was discussing in a staff meeting, and it has stayed with me, resonated with me, and I keep meditating on it. It keeps coming up. So I thought I'd share it. All right, here we go. Three B's for your intensified relationships. Everything in life has borders. There are borders that protect us. There are borders that define and delineate territory and space. And so that's really what boundaries are. Boundaries, borders, kind of the same thing. But there are some things in relationship that are always built on communication and understanding. So if it's one thing for me to say something to you, it's another thing for you to hear it, comprehend it, understand it, reason, and integrate it into your own perspective. When you're trying to protect your heart, your mind, your emotional well being, most importantly, your spirit, these three that are stronger than others. So when you realize the type of person you're dealing with, don't be afraid to set those boundaries and establish the borders of your life. Sometimes with a person that you love, that you trust, someone that you have built a certain type of intimacy with, it may not require a lot because they know you, they love you, and you already have a safe space with them. So the borders are pretty easy. Think of it as simple as what happens when you just cross one county line to another. There aren't sometimes these huge monuments or things. They're just little simple signs that let you know you're in a different territory. That's for the easy relationships. But there are still borders because in some spaces certain rules apply and in other places they don't. When you have to adjust, okay, and respect the rules of engagement. Then there are some people that you have to be a little bit sharper with. Well, not sharper, let me say. You have to protect yourself in a different way. I like to think of it like bumpers. Remember bumper cars? Now, you knew when you got in the ring with the bumper car, you're going to be hitting up against some things. And the best part or the fun about bumper cars is that you knew you wouldn't be damaged. You could brace yourself because you were protected by these big bumpers around the vehicles. So what I'm telling you is that there's some relationships you're going to bump up against that person because maybe you have a different perspective on politics, huh? Or maybe you have a different perspective on what's supposed to happen with your diet. There are certain little quirks people have, and it's not life threatening. It's just where you bump up against some of their preferences and yours, and you have to kind of push back maybe on holding strong to your own convictions in some ways. And it's respected and it's expected that when you're in the company of these individuals, bumping is going to happen, but it's not a big deal. It's not life threatening. You just have to brace yourself. So brace yourself with bumper people. I need you to identify them so that you will not be caught off guard, so that you will not get bruised, damaged, or have an expectation that is totally unrealistic. Now, lastly, let me tell you that there are some folks you're going to have to put up some barbed wire. It sounds dehumanizing, and I'm not suggesting that you treat them harshly, but these are people who will cut you if you don't protect yourself. They totally disregard your borders and boundaries, and they're more dangerous than bumpers. Okay, they are actually hurtful, harmful to your well-being, and I want you to be very clear. You don't owe it to anyone to minimize your health, your safety, your sanity. Sometimes barbed wire means a very strong, firm, and unwavering commitment to protecting your space. Okay? I don't know where that's going to land with some of you, but I believe that as you go into the new year, even as you assess this year, you've got some praying to do. But I want your relationships to be healthier, beginning with the relationship you have with yourself, that you would guard your heart because out of it flow all the issues of life. And what you want to protect is your peace, your sanity, your well being, so that you can be the most fabulous, wonderful person that God created you to be without apologizing for it and without feeling threatened by somebody else's lack of respect for your borders, boundaries. Okay? Take care.